Hello, so today we're going to be doing a closer look at the Pilot Iro-utsushi dip pen. I'll do some writing samples, some comparisons to other fountain pens like the TWSBI Mini in Extra Fine and also the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Medium Fine, and then the Uniball One in 0.38 millimeters. And I'll do this on the Hobonichi A6 memo pad. And I like doing this because that way I can see relative to the grid that I'm writing on usually how broad or fine that pen is. So, as with that, the reason why I got this pen to begin with is because I sadly broke my super cute, super loved hex glass pen. Try and get this off, and I am so sad. The poor little baby's nib is gone. I chipped it when I was putting it down. It really somewhat lightly but a little bit too hard hit my table, and now it no longer writes very nicely or fine. So I decided that I'm not allowed to have glass pens anymore. I had to get something like this where I am not able to break it as easily, and also if for whatever reason I do break it, it's not too crazy expensive to replace. Okay, so for this one, it comes with a little cap, which I like, so I can store it a little bit nicer, and it's very simple in design. It just has that waterline on the nib, and then also the fine engraving. Then the nice thing about dip pens is that I can rinse them out with a cup of water, so I am able to just swish and clean the pens really easily and really quickly with water. So I can use a bunch of different inks. I can do ink swatches and tests and get a pretty realistic example of what that ink would look like if I put it in a fountain pen. And then lastly about this pen is I got the wood body. I also have the Sailor Hokuro, which is a plastic body, but that one's in a fude nib. And I do like the wood body more. This also comes in plastic, but this just feels super nice to write with, matches my desk, and is still really lightweight and comfortable and all of that. It just has like that warmth from being wood. To start things off, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do a really quick writing sample with the Yama-guri Iroshizuku. And the way we'll do that is I will dip the pen, put the cap aside, get my paper out, and you just dip right to the fill line. So I'll go ahead and do that. And I got a little bit of ink on the side. And really what you want is that hole in the center of the nib to be filled so that the ink will flow to the tip. And I'll go ahead and write. Alright, Pilot Iroshizuku Yama-guri. Ink. And then this is the Pilot Iro-utsushi dip pen in fine. And then I'll do some squigglies like that until I'm out of ink. And then all I need to do is redip. And I can also do a bit of a wash of ink and see what that looks like. And I'll zoom in just a little bit more. And then lastly, I would like to test the line width. So that's about how much writing I can get. I think it's about a sentence and a half. So for testing the line width, let me dip once more, and I will get my straight edge over here. And we'll do just a line like that. Cool. Then to clean off the excess, I am just going to dab it on the side like that, and you can see the ink will come off the nib really easily. Then I'll rinse it in water. So super easy to clean. I have my very dirty watercolor towel right here. And then it's all clean, ready for the next ink. So I'll put that aside and put that right up here. And the next thing I'll do is I'll make some line width comparison. So I have my line from the Iro-utsushi pen, and now I will use my Sailor Pro Gear Slim in medium fine. And this is inked with the Sailor Shirakashi. I think it's from the Monyo line. And I really love this ink. It's probably my favorite ink right now because it's olive green, which is one of my favorite colors, and then kind of shades more brown, which I think is so pretty. So I'll go ahead and do the line over here. And they look really close. So I'll go ahead and write. So this is Sailor Pro Gear Slim. It's 14K, and that's medium fine. And then next I'll do the TWSBI. So because TWSBI runs, I'd say broader compared to the Sailors, I use an extra fine in the TWSBIs typically to write in that 3.7 Hobonichi grid. Go ahead, draw a bit of a line here. And then this ink is Robert Oster Australis Oak, I think. And TWSBI Mini Extra Fine. And some squiggles like that. So they're all really similar, pretty close. And then lastly, the 0.38 Uni. I picked this up not because I actually write with it too much, but because the colors are so pretty. I really like the cream clip with the mint colored body. And I don't never use it. I sometimes use it when I have to write on paper that might not take my fountain pens really well. So let's do one last line. Like that. And that one's noticeably thinner. Uniball One F 0.38. And then squiggles like that. Yeah, so they're all about the same. I think looking closely, the dip pen writes a smidgen thicker than my Pro Gear Slim and my TWSBI Extra Fine. I think The thinnest is the Uniball One F, then the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Medium Fine, and then the TWSBI, and then the fine dip pen. Alright, so now to test some shimmer inks, I'll go ahead, I will do the Sailor Mellow Forest. I'll give it a shake. I usually check the bottom to see if the shimmer has integrated because it likes to settle at the bottom. I'll open that up. We'll dip that. And then let's do, push that out of the way. Mellow Forest. Like that. And do a wash. And then that color will start to probably show through as it dries, or the shimmer, I should say. Kind of. Not too much. Maybe I didn't shake it very well, but I think because the shimmer particles on this are larger, it can sometimes not always show up as much as things that have finer shimmer and kind of are a little bit more suspended. Okay, and then lastly, this one. So this one's super fun and metallic. I will dip this ink, and I always have to be really careful because the vials are so tiny, and I always get it in the side of the pen. Yeah, there it is. Let's wipe it off. While I love the wood barrel, I'm really nervous that I'm gonna accidentally dye the ink or dye the wood with my ink, especially on inks like this that are quite strong. Okay, so this one is Organic Studio Nitrogen. To wash what's left on my pen. This one's going for quite a while. And there it goes. We'll do second little dip. Just do some swigglies like that. And I'll dry off the excess, rinse it out. That has completely dyed my water because the blue dye in this ink is so strong. And you can already see the sheen. It was really fun. Yeah, looks just as I expected to. So that is the pen. I think it's really nice. It fits my 3.7 Hobonichi grid really well, and also doesn't look too different from my other ink widths or pen widths. Lastly, I just want to show how I use this pen in my actual notebooks. So what I have over here is my Hobonichi Techo, and I like to put in my ink swatches in here. So my glass pen dutifully wrote all of these over here, and then when I broke it, I was left with some empty slots that the Pilot Iroshizuku luckily filled, I think, from here on. So these were all written with the Pilot dip pen. And these blobbies, I liked how Lined Musings did. There's the little dots on the side, so I took that for these swatches as well. I really like how this turned out. I'll zoom out. Yeah, and I have my warm tones in like green, and then my cool tones over here. These are all ink samples, and I like being able to see what it would look like. Oh, so blue. What it would look like written out, and then also how the ink kind of moves and the different shades you get. So this is how I use that pen. So that's it. That is the Pilot Iro-utsushi pen.